Hi, welcome to How to Repair. Right, a lot of people have been asking me questions about the Cookology dishwasher, so I thought I'd do some research. Basically, the Cookology brand is actually manufactured by the Midea group, and I've managed to do some research and find the workshop manual. But not only does it fit the Cookology model, it also fits all the brands that you can see on the screen here. Now, the machine may vary in its look, and let me explain. The Toshiba version of this machine could look like this, and this is for the American marketplace. But each individual manufacturer has a different look on the front fascia, as you can see, but the actual internal workings of the machine are all the same. They're made for a multiple of different brands who get Midea to manufacture it for them under their own brand name. So this manual will extremely help you when it comes to the error codes, the diagnostic procedure, and there is also a full list of parts available for this machine, and I'll put links in the description to the web page for the specific parts, and also for the test procedure, the wiring diagram, and the exploded views of the machine. But in this video, I'm quickly going to scroll through the whole 58 pages of the workshop manual to assist you, so you're able to either pause the video at any point when you want to see a specific page, or I will put timestamps in there to go to the specific page for you. I hope this helps you. Okay, this manual I managed to find in an archive on the Toshiba's database, or it was on the web somewhere, which I found, and basically it's the service manual for the machine. Now, the first part of the manual is just the normal Maloney to do with safety instructions. We'll go through all of these. As a matter of fact, let me just pause at each point so you can actually see. We've got the safety instructions. More safety instructions. Caution notices. Just quickly scrolling through these. Now we've got the contents. Basically, you'll be able to go to any specific point during this video and stop at these, and I'll stop at each page individually. First thing we've got is the exploded view of the machine. This is what your machine will look at from the top. They're all basically the same. The only thing that changes is the actual door assembly to different manufacturers. They're quite low wattage in the consumption of electricity they use. It's only a 4.7 kilowatt machine. You're able to fill the machine with either mains water or jug, which is quite useful, especially if you're in a mobile circumstance where you don't have mains water. Right, we have the flow diagram explaining the water intake to the machine. It can either be filled from the jug at the top, or it can actually be filled via the water inlet valve. Operating principles gives you the schematics on how the water enters the machine through the jug assembly at the back. It also shows you where the components are located for when you strip down the machine. So we have the cool air fan on the right hand side of the machine. Component location, as I said, it shows you where everything is. Filter system at the bottom, your upper spray arm, lower spray arm, and so on. We have component location views just to assist you on knowing where the components are. They're quite tricky to strip down, and I will do another video on this for you. My blessed phone going off there. We've got the component views. Now, E4 error code, I will tell you straight away, is a common fault on these machines. I have been stripping down a lot of machines which were box damaged recently, and the parts will be on the website. When it comes to parts, most of the Midea parts do have a part number stamped on them, so you will be able to cross-reference it. But if you do not have the part number stamped on it. Before buying any part, do make sure that it fits your model of machine, because there are variations, especially when it comes to things like circuit boards and so on. So major principal parts on the machine: water tank, door assembly. As I said, these will vary from manufacturer. The door switch system is pretty universal. The lamp is universal. The fan assembly, filter, PCB, as I said, is depending on the manufacturer of the machine, if it's got different programs. Heating element, washing pump, drain pump, flow meter, which is an impeller jug, which is a standard dishwasher impeller jug that counts the amount of water going into the machine, washing machine pump, and NTC sensor. All these have specific pages on this manual which will show you the test procedure for them. Water tank explains where the water tank is, how to take it apart. So you can see here there's some screws on the inside that you have to undo. You have to undo the filter at the top, then the top cover will come off, then you're able to slide the back panel off, and then the side panels as well, and this will give you full access to the machine. You've also got a base cover on the machine that will come off as well. The water tank is fixed at the back of the machine. I'll get down to the technical stuff in a second. The door assembly shows you how to take the door off. The base of the machine, and as you can see, different door assemblies with the controls fitted in different locations depending on the manufacturer or the brand it's under. They're all made by Midea, but they do variations for different manufacturers. Right, the door switch assembly, door lock, gives you the procedure for that. And as I said, I will do another video for you on these to show you how to take the machine apart. Gives you good relevant information on where the door lock wiring goes through onto the circuit board, so you can check the wiring and the circuit board. Indicator lamp, how to disassemble this. Fan assembly, which is on the right hand side of the machine. I've taken a lot of these off machines and I've got quite a few of these in stock. The electrical filter or suppressor, it's on the back of the machine. I had a lot of problems with these as well, whereby the filter or suppressor has overheated and cracked and causing earth problems. Quite easy to get at once you've got the actual chassis of the machine off. Base cover, as I said, common fault with these machines where you would need the base cover off is E4 error code. This is too much water getting into the base of the machine and causing it to become dangerous, because there's an anti-flood device that protects the electrics in there. You can see here the anti-flood device. When you take this base cover off, do be careful to disconnect the wiring before disassembling. PCB, where it's located at the bottom there, and it's in a sealed housing, and the wiring diagram that will come up in a minute will show you everything. This basically is showing you the PCB and where each component is located on the PCB. In other words, where the door lock goes through to, or door switch, where the temperature sensor goes through to on RE. Let me just load this up for you so you can see a little bit better. So you can see there's numbers on the chart here, and that takes you through the relevant point of the abbreviation and what it's meaning, or what color wiring. Zoom to correct level. Water inlet valve. I'll just pause there so you can stop the video if you want to read it. And it also shows you the resistance value you should have when testing. Water inlet valve. Again, the function, how it works, all the relevant information. E1 error code is a popular one with this. Where it's connected on the circuit board. And the check procedure for the part. There's also test procedures in a minute we'll come to. The drain pump, again, let you just see that. Also, it gives you the resistance value of the drain pump, and you'll be able to test this under bench testing on your workbench because it is a 240 volt pump. Again, exactly the same with the drain pump, where it's connected on the board. Heating element, 700 watts, so you should have 70 ohms worth of resistance if the element is in good condition. And there's also a couple of thermostats built in to the actual heating element plate, which you will need to check. There are lots of videos with regards individual components at the website to assist you in checking things like NTC sensors, pumps, heaters and so on. The main washing machine pump, how it comes off, and again the resistance values you should have. Where it's connected to on the circuit board, and you need to check the wiring on that as well, and it gives you the test procedure. NTC sensor, again I've got a detailed video on NTC sensors on how they work and how to go about testing them, but as you can see here in the exploded chart, if you have a room temperature of 20 degrees you should be getting about 12,120 ohms resistance if it's at the correct working parameters. Where it connects to on the circuit board, the flow meter, which is a standard impeller jug which rotates to measure the amount of water going into the machine. And of course, as I said, if you're overfilling it on a regular basis, this can lead to water going down into the base of the machine, which is a very common fault on these machines because they're small countertop dishwashers. They do get sometimes water in the base of the machine, and E4 error code, or if any component inside the machine is leaking, this would activate the float switch. But it shows you the test procedure for this, where it's connected to on the board. More information on the flow meter. Now we come to the exploded views of these dishwashers. Now, as I said, it is very important because each manufacturer that you saw on the beginning of the video does not always produce a workshop manual for these machines, and the information that is on the internet is very poor at the moment with regards to these dishwashers. I was very lucky to obtain this workshop manual, and I know it's exactly the same as all the Cookology machines because I've been cross-checking the parts. So, for example, component 1 is the inlet cap at the top for filling with a jug. Now, when we come down to the exploded diagram of inside the machine and all the components here, you've got a parts list. So you would use, let me take an example here, part number 36 on here is the drain pump, as you can see. That gives you the genuine part number, which you can see that I'm clicking on here. By using this part number, I have put the links in on the web page in the link in the description. You will actually be taken to a page where you can actually obtain the correct parts, or if I've got them in stock here. But just use these numbers on the left hand side of each component to find the component that you need, and then you've got the genuine part number which will assist you in obtaining parts. Now we've got the work process detail chart. This basically explains the functionality of the machine, and let me zoom to the correct level. So I'll just let you see this. Now we go into the timing chart. This is all relevant information for when you need to fix the machine. Again, more flow timing charts. And these are for different wash cycles. So this is the rapid, and it shows you what should be going on, when it should be happening. Don't forget you can pause the video at any point to assist you reading it. And I will be putting the major pages up on the web page for you, and the link is in the description below. It washes fruit, baby items for sterilising, and also normally has a normal wash function as well, and a rapid wash function on a glass. Program sheet for individual washes. Do take note of the amount of powder it recommends you put in on these washes, because a lot of people are putting full dishwasher tablets in, which are too much because it is only a 4-place setting. A full tablet is designed for maybe a 12-place setting, and it could end up frothing too much inside the drum and causing foam to get out of the machine and into the base of the machine, which would activate the anti-flood device, which, as I said, E4 is a common fault on these machines. Now, this is one that you'll want for the test programming on the machine. It shows you how to enter the test programming and also what should be happening when you go through the different functions on there. And this will point you in the right direction of what you need to look at to test if the machine is failing in any way. We also have a full list of the error fault codes which can occur on these machines, and I'll quickly go through these for you. E1, water supply problem. E3, heater problem or possibly NTC sensor or circuit board. E4, as I said, is the anti-flood device. And as they say here, check the use of detergent, the micro switch. Any water that gets into the base of the machine would activate the flood device, which will give you an E4 error code. E6 is water inlet temperature. E7 as well, things to do with the PCB, thermistor or the inlet water temperature. E9, button shorts to do with the door, I imagine. EA error code to do with the heating system. ED, again, this could be a problem with the PCB or the actual door functionality, in other words, the circuit board on the front of the door. And EF is to do with the water tank. All of these I will publish on the actual web page for you, and the link is in the description. Now we go into the troubleshooting for each individual error. So I'll quickly pause on each of these. This one is for EF error code. The next one is for E1 error code, and it shows you what to do, if it's working or not working, what to test. E3 error code, again to do with the heating. E4 error code, which I said, which was the anti-flood device, what to check for. Look for leaking components, look for possible water getting into the base of the machine. Bit more here for you. I'm just pausing slowly occasionally so you can actually pause on your screen easily. E6 error code, possible to do with a heating system or NTC sensor. The wiring diagram, and I'll try and zoom in on this for you. But I will put this up on the website. It's very hard for me to show you on a YouTube video. So I'll just go back to normal size, but this page will be up with all the other major pages on the website. Schematics and the wiring diagram showing you each component, how they're connected and the wiring going through them. And there's a very nice chart here which explains any of the numbers or codes that you see on the screen, and even the color of the wiring, like GY will be grey, GN is green, and so on. And that's basically the whole circuit diagram and workshop manual for this machine. As I said, I will put everything in the link in the description to take you through to the full page. Do make sure before you order any parts for these machines, make sure you can either identify the part number that is on your old part, or when purchasing a new part, do make sure that it says your model number before purchasing. It will assist you no end understanding that this component is the correct component for your machine. I hope this quick video helped you. Thanks very much indeed for watching.